The results of the 2026 Assembly elections in Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Puducherry highlight several factors that have a bearing on India's direction as a secular, democratic, federal republic. In Assam and Puducherry, the BJP and its partners retained power, while in the other three states, incumbents were swept away in a strong current of changed popular opinion. In Assam, for the first time, the BJP crossed the halfway mark of 64 seats on its own and, with its partners, won 101 seats in the 126-member assembly. For the Congress, this is its worst performance, even lower than its 1985 tally in the aftermath of the Assam agitation. The regional outfits that were part of the Congress-led alliance, including the Raijor Dal and Assam Jatiya Parishad, were routed, while those within the National Democratic Alliance, NDA, chiefly the Assam Gana Parishad and the Bodoland People's Front, managed to win a few seats, though they now have little clout given the BJP's outright majority. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has reinforced his position in the state through a mix of polarizing communal rhetoric and redistribution schemes. Congress leader Gaurav Gogoi lost his own seat. In West Bengal, the BJP has achieved a decisive victory through long-term planning, aided by the state's political history, a tainted election process, and the exhaustion of the Trinamool Congress (TMC's) politics that had run its course. Bengal has been home to India's national movement and to Hindutva ideas long before they spread elsewhere, and has carried a strong sense of regional identity. The BJP, through years of meticulous organization, converted a threshold population of the state to its totalizing nationalist narrative. Having subsumed the regional politics of Maharashtra, Assam, and Odisha, it had set its sights on West Bengal with obsessive determination and has won. The TMC faces existential danger with its founder leader Mamata Banerjee at 71 and its cadre and voters now susceptible to pressure from the BJP. This election was also the most tainted in India's elections. Around 27 lakh people were arbitrarily removed from the electoral rolls, and the Supreme Court of India took an unhelpful view of that grave assault on the fundamentals of democracy. If that is the sign of things to come, it is cause for serious concern. In Tamil Nadu, the political startup, the TVK, led by actor C. Joseph Vijay, has made a stunning debut. Mr. Vijay is set to become the first chief minister not from either of the two principal Dravidian parties since the DMK first captured power in the state, a historic rupture in Tamil politics. While his popularity is now established, his acumen in navigating the complexities of governance and managing the relationship with the BJP and the centre will be tested from day one. Though the differences in vote share among the formations, the DMK-led alliance, the AIA-DMK-led alliance, and TVK contesting alone were not large. A three-cornered contest and the first-past-the-post mechanism delivered an outsized advantage to the TVK. The DMK's votes were more evenly spread across the state, while the TVK and AIA-DMK had theirs concentrated in pockets of influence, yielding far better vote-to-seat conversion. Mr. Vijay had the advantage of novelty, and the electorate proved open to a new experiment. In Kerala, the Congress-led UDF's overwhelming victory is as notable as the pitiable performance of the CPIM-led LDF. The LDF's defeat belongs principally to outgoing Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, who, uncharacteristically for the state and more so for the left, had built a personality cult. The BJP has won a historic high of 3 seats, but the UDF's return, while restoring Kerala's traditional alternation in power, could act as a speedbreaker to the BJP's ambitions. The Congress faces the immediate task of amicably settling the question of Chief Minister from among 3 potential candidates, K.C. Venugopal, V.D. Sathizan, and Ramesh Chennithala. The election results strengthen Home Minister Amit Shah's hand within the BJP's internal dynamics, as the party has grown into a behemoth harboring multiple interest groups and ambitious leaders. Mr. Shah was the key strategist in West Bengal, and Mr. Sarma in Assam is firmly aligned with him. A reconstitution of all party organizations and a possible reshuffle of the Union Council of Ministers will likely reflect his preeminence in the days ahead. The BJP, by its capacity and willingness to expand its footprint across regions and social groups, oftentimes bending norms, is placing immense pressure on India's federal democracy. The DMK and the TMC have been bulwarks of opposition politics within and outside Parliament, as demonstrated in the recent parliamentary vote on the delimitation bill. With both beaten at the hustings and buoyed by its victories in Assam and West Bengal, the BJP will feel tempted and emboldened to continue its course of unilateralism. It would be in the interest of the country and of democracy for the BJP to be accommodative and sensitive towards diverse aspirations. While platforms of regional political mobilization, such as the TMC and the DMK, will have to adapt to new challenges. The regional parties in Assam and Kerala too faced a setback, suggesting popular fatigue and an inclination towards larger frames of reference mediated by social media. As for the Congress, these results represent victory in Kerala, defeat in Assam, and a lost opportunity in Tamil Nadu. The defeat of the DMK and TMC sets the stage for a potential realignment of the opposition, opening the possibility for the Congress to aggregate and galvanize social and other interest groups, and to position itself as a weightier axis of anti-BJP politics.